CNBC TV18 News Break confirmed Nazara Tech will be issuing 14 lakh equity shares at a price of 714 rupees per share to Nikhil Kamath firm. The total investment will be 100 crore rupees. Earlier today, we had a chat with Nikhil Kamath and he says he's very bullish on gaming. It's going to be a larger part of our ecosystem over the next 10 years. And if perhaps the opportunity arises, he would be open to investing even more. Listen in.
Very likely, I'm looking at this as a really long-term play and would love to engage with them more in the future, maybe increase and play the e-sport gaming thing through them. And the stake was about 1%. I think now it should be up to about 3.5%. This has nothing to do with Zerodha, really.
Okay.
Zerodha will not be investing into this. This is more of a personal investment for me. I don't know about being on the board or being actively engaged, because even though I have a thesis on the sector, I don't particularly have an expertise that I think it should be about 160 crores, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, that's the big investment by the Kamath brothers, and the stock has raced away. It's crossed the 800 rupee mark for the first time since April of 2022. It's still much lower than the IPO price of 1100 rupees per share, but the stock today has got a big boost. Nitish Mittersain, the Joint Managing Director, CEO at Nazara Tech, is with us on the show. Nitish, did you have other offers on the board when it comes to the preferential issue that you have done? And if yes, why did you select the Kamath brothers? What did they bring on the table for you?
Hi. I think, from an India tech entrepreneurial perspective, Nikhil Kamath embodies, success and running a very profitable business, pioneering in his space. And from that perspective, I think bringing him on board was something we were very excited about.
Did you have other offers on the table?
No, this was a specific proposal that we from him.
And what about your plans to raise 750 crore? You have an enabling resolution where you can raise up to 750 crore, which could be via a combination of QIP or preferential issues. Now, 100 crores has been raised. What about the balance 650 crores?
That's right. Our board and shareholders have approved a fundraise up to 750 crores. And, as the opportunities come up and as we require these funds, we will, try and execute that. At this point of time, the only amount we have raised is this particular 100 crores for a preferential issue.
Nitish, you were just, mentioning about the Kamath brothers coming in, and they did mention to us earlier this morning that they would be happy to raise further stake within the company. Is that something that you would be open to then?
Our focus, is on, as it is on continuously building Nazara into a diversified gaming platform. And we are always happy to associate with, great investors. We've been always very lucky over our 2-decade, history of getting, marquee, highly respected investors to back us. Because I believe they believe our dream, which is, that gaming will become big in India. We've been pursuing this dream for 2 decades. And therefore, any association with any highly respected investor is always something we always look forward to.
Nitish, so what's the game plan? You've got 100 crores right now from Nikhil Kamath. You have this enabling resolution. So this year, or let's talk next year, how much money would you want to raise?
I think it's dependent on the opportunities that are presented in front of us and the need of capital and the use of capital. We obviously don't want to overcapitalize ourselves as well. So it really depends on the opportunities we see. We do see many opportunities in the gaming space through our existing organic growth of businesses, as well as additional acquisitions or investments that we may do, or some of our subsidiaries may do. So depending on how these things roll out, we may raise the funds accordingly.
Okay, that's interesting. So let's talk about both opportunities, organic and inorganic. Let me come to the latter first. You said that you could be looking at that route as well. So which segments of the business? Are you talking about esports, talking about, something else? And what are these opportunities? Do you see something immediately on the horizon? What's the kind of size that you would be comfortable digesting?
Sure. I think one area we are quite focused on is building out the library of core gaming IPs that we have through game development studios. So as you know, we today own Kidopia, we have Animal Jam, We have World Cricket Championship. And I think if our company can own very strong franchises and core gaming IPs, these can be monetized over a really long period of time, globally as well as in India as the Indian market develops. I think building out our core gaming IP library is something that is a priority for us. We have been in discussions and building a pipeline for over the last year or so, as the market has, offered us many opportunities and at good values. So hopefully we will be able to bring some of them to conclusion over the next, months or year to come. So I think that's one core focus area for us.
And what's the tentative size of these deals, these opportunities that you're evaluating? You were saying you could do it as early as this year, FY24. Typically, what's the deal size in these core gaming opportunities?
I think depending on where these companies are based out of, we can have a pretty wide range, and also depending on the sector. If they are mobile game studios, they can be anywhere from a revenue of 25 crores all the way to 200-300 crores kind of revenue range. So it's a pretty wide range. And if it's on new technologies, for example, let's say virtual reality studios who are focused on new tech like VR or AI, then the revenues may be smaller, but some of the cutting edge technology that they are working on may be very attractive. So it's very difficult for me to generalize from a revenue range perspective, because different segments will have different revenue scales.
Nikhil Kamath also said this is kind of a decadal opportunity, the whole gaming ecosystem. And the growth in the gaming industry is going to be much faster, much higher than what we've seen in the traditional other industries, consumption, etc. What's the kind of 10-year annual growth that you're looking at for the industry or for your company? What are the own internal assessments as you invest more money in?
Look, globally, if you see, and especially if you look into the US, gaming is a much larger revenue generating industry as compared to Hollywood and music industry, etc. put together. In India, you're already seeing that gaming from a consumption perspective ranks #1 or #2 in the world in terms of number of downloads onto mobile phones. But we are lagging on the monetization part of it. I think that is slowly but steadily catching up. Indians will be willing to pay small amounts of money for additional levels or playing in the games, and I think that will really blow up into a pretty large amount. Difficult for me to predict a percentage at this point of time, but we've been very patient. As you know, our company started decades ago with the dream that gaming will become very big in India one day. We have pursued that dream for 2 decades, so we are very patient and we will continue doing that over the next few years. I am very sure that India is emerging as the gaming nation of the world, and that is our singular focus and dream.
All right, got that, Nitish. It was great having you on the show. So thank you for joining us and taking us through all of the details on this, as well as where you see things really headed for your business as well. That is Nazara Technologies talking to us. Of course, today the stock is having quite a day. It is up almost 10%. But with that, it is time for